Hello, my good students. I hope you all are doing well. So in this lecture, what I want to do is I want to create another example where we will try to create a program which is like it's a program for checking, or almost like an air condition, or almost like a program that would check for temperature and then give you some information. So it's like a thermostat, that would check a temperature for something, and then it's going to let you either turn something down or turn something up. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and create another class. So I'm going to use the same project folder for control structure. I'm going to right click and create a new class. And in this one, it's going to be an application, individual standalone application. So I'm going to create a main method, generate some comments, and give it a name, maybe thermostat program. Okay. And then I'm going to finish. And then I'm going to write my code here, within my main method. So as you can see, I wrote the program, and again, I'm doing this thing in the interest of time. If I want to type everything in the recording, this takes too long. But I'll go ahead and write some comments just to make sure that you guys are following along. So this is the one that we have an error here because it does not recognize the scanner class. So if I click on it, it tells me that I can import a scanner, and that would import a scanner. And I'm going to move it out over here, and that should take care of that error there. So as I was mentioning earlier, this is a max temp that I had set, and of course this is a constant, and that is why it's following this regular whenever you write a constant, you always use the all cap. This is just a protocol that we use. Again, if you want to change it to all lowercase, it's not going to stop you, but that's generally the tradition, that whenever we use a constant, we use all caps. And then of course final tells you that it is not going to change. That's why Java allows you to use the keyword final, and this is a double value, as you can see here. And of course you can change this one to any high temperature. So let's say your maximum temperature, you only allow things to go up until 110.5. So this is where you are doing maximum temperature, and then over here is your variable or temperature. This is the scanner object. So the scanner object called keyboard. Okay. And in Java, it does not really matter if you do a tab or not, but if you would like to, you can do that. So you have a scanner, and then let's see, there's an error here. Resource the keyboard is never closed. That's okay. And then over here, this is basically gathering temperature value from the user, and this is your instruct operator to adjust the temperature. It's just a statement to instructions to check the thermostat temperature. Okay, so now let's clear out. So this is the program, and I basically went ahead and cleared out my console over here. So this is the one that would allow you to clear the console, and I'm going to put breakpoint maybe at and I can put multiple breakpoints, but let's put a breakpoint right here, which is going to execute the program from the top all the way up to line number 30, and this is going to where the breakpoint is. So at this point I have a breakpoint. I'm going to change my perspective. So now I'm going to do this debug perspective, and it comes in. So the very first thing it says is enter the substance Celsius temperature. So remember, it started from the top, it created my temperature, and then it also asked me to enter my substance temperature. This is where my breakpoint is, and I'm going to use the debug mode, which opened my debug mode here. So I'm going to input a value, let's say 120 degrees, and then I'm going to hit enter. And now I come over here because I cannot move down anymore because I have a breakpoint right here. So at this breakpoint, as you can see, some of these things are showing up, which is my debug perspective. It tells me that in my main method I have a string, and there's an ID that has been generated by the IDE platform. Max temp is a variable that I had defined, which has a value of 110.5, and then temperature is another variable that I have, and at this point I had input the variable 120. And now in my keyboard, remember keyboard is an object that I created which came out of scanner, so it tells you that keyboard is a scanner object and it has its own ID. So this particular string has its own ID, the scanner has its own ID. So in order for me to go inside this method, I have to do a step over. So now once I go in, it's checking for the condition, and let's do another one. It says the temperature is too high. See, the temperature is too high. Okay, turn the thermostat. So I'm going to hit another one. Turn the thermostat down. It is going line by line. You see how these things is happening over here. If you want the whole while loop to work, if I take the breakpoint, it's going to go through and you get all these things in one shot. Okay, but since I'm going line by line, I have to do a step over. So thermostat down for 10 minutes and then enter it here. Okay, and then it's going to go to the next line, and then now it says, okay, enter it here. So at this point I say it is 115 and hit enter. But see, it is still within my while, so I have to do this. Now you see my temperature has changed from 120 to 115, and I can continue doing this. Okay, so now if I go to, so it will actually compare this thing. So as long as the temperature is greater than the max temp was 110.5. So let's now put 110.5. Okay, so now let's see what happens. Temperature here, and I say 5. So the temperature is acceptable, and check it again for 15 minutes. So basically at 110, it never had to go inside this while loop. So you can see here, these are my values. So this is how this is working. And of course, I still have my breakpoint over here. So I did not go through the debug mode. I just ran my program. So again, if I want to put a debug, if I want to go into the debug mode, then I'll have to put a breakpoint, and then again have to go through the step over, you know, the same way. So if I put a debug mode over here, I'm going to go to the debug mode. So now I'm here. So it's going to ask me for a temperature. Let's say 111. So it's starting over here. So as you can see, my max temp is 110. My temperature is 111. Temperature, thought I put 111. We'll see. And I have a feeling it is probably pulling it up from the prior mode here. Just 111. Somehow it is stuck at this breakpoint. And I think there are 3 of these things that opened. So let me close some of these prior threads, or maybe clear out the cache here. So I'm going to go back and debug as. Okay, so it opened up another one. So I have the breakpoint here. So at this point, if I input 119, this one is not changing, which means it's not still running. So once I come over here, that should clear things up. Let's debug now. Okay, so now if I do 111 and hit enter, so now this is over here. So these perspectives that they are opening were the older ones, so I have to choose the new one before I can actually see the change over here. So now I'm stuck at this point. I'm at the break point. I'm going to go through, and it's going to say turn temperature is too high, turn the temperature, wait for 5 minutes, and then take it, enter it here. So now if I say it's down to 110, hit enter, and again I still have my breakpoint, so I have to now go, and it says the temperature is acceptable because it went back and started from here and it checked the condition, and that's why it did not go through and execute any of these things. So the temperature is acceptable. So I came out, and then if I hit my thing again, it says check it in 5 minutes. So that's how you can go through and do this. Now you can also resume like this. So if you go back and open up a perspective like this, so you have to select the perspective. You can stop your breakpoint just by doing this, or you can terminate it from here, and you can come in and then play it directly over here. So this way you do not have the perspectives open. You just input the temperature, and again if I do 140, then it says nope. See how the whole thing came in once because I did not have a breakpoint. So now I'm waiting for it. So if I do 105, and then it says check it again in 15 minutes. So it came out of the loop and did this. So that's how you can write another you can use a control structure with a while statement inside a program.